Welcome to a special episode of Eat, Baila, Travel. Every episode is special to us, but today, this episode is going to be very, very different.
It's going to be different from what you're used to seeing from us. There isn't going to be any eat, any baila, or any travel. But stick with us because we have some important updates for you regarding the channel and us.
Today we want to catch you up with what's going on with us and what's going on with the channel. As you may notice, we haven't been posting on a regular Sunday basis like we normally do, but I want to let you know that we haven't forgotten about you and we hope that you haven't forgot about us.
But before we really get into it, I just want to say that this was almost a live stream. We miss you all very much. We haven't been able to respond to comments with all the things that we have going on. And we miss you all so much that we almost did a live stream so that we can hang out with you and spend some time chatting with you. So feel free to respond in the comments as you watch this as if it were kind of a live stream. React as you watch. I don't know if any of this is going to be shocking to you all, but in addition to some personal updates, we have some updates on what life has been like in Mexico City.
So let's start from the top. The month of May has been a very difficult month for us.
Can we just say the 2024 year has been really difficult? If you've been with us for any of the last 6 months, you may have seen some of the videos where we've talked about the whole reason that we moved to Mexico City. That was for a really exciting job opportunity for myself. And then how that ended quite abruptly, devastatingly.
Yeah.
There are some legal action in the works. I can't say too much about it, but a lawsuit has been filed, and that's all I can really say about it at the moment. And I'm hoping for a positive outcome. So yeah, 2024, but May particularly, because May brought us a new personal challenge that required Kevin to travel to Chicago. Well, two of us, and then Kevin more so.
Some personal issues back in Chicago. We had to travel back. In the last 6 weeks, I've been in Chicago 3 times already. And it might sound fun because I'm going home, but really, it's not. Four and a half travels. Well, Chicago.
Yeah, but home. I thought home was me.
You are home.
I'm sensitive these days, okay?
But it's been tough. We're also dealing with some legal issues that we can't touch on.
But I think what we can say without making this frustrating, because if I was watching this, I'd be really frustrating. Like, give us the details.
Yeah, el chisme.
But really what it comes down to is that we imagine, for those of you who are children of immigrants, you might be able to relate, or even if you're not, if you're from any background where economic health was challenging. Let's just say that my mom and my family are in a difficult living situation, and we pulled our funds together to buy a house in Chicago for our family to thrive in.
Right.
Our plan
to live in.
To live in. Our plan is to continue in Mexico, but
we saw an opportunity to be able to provide housing for Jenny's family.
Thank you. My
think,
words are not helping me today. Well, yeah, so we saw this opportunity. Thank you.
And we had been wanting to have a home back in Chicago for some time now. Like, we've been trying to purchase a house for your mom to live in, maybe for the last 4 or 5 years, and finally the day came.
And it comes down to the fact that there's a person who doesn't want to move out, and they don't want to pay rent, and it's just very sad. I never thought I would be that person to ask someone to move, and we tried to move out, and so we're working with this person, but they no longer want to work with us. So that's been really sad and frustrating for so many different reasons. And all of that comes during a time where we were trying to figure out what's next for our lives, and during a time where we've been experiencing a lot of stress, not only because of that, but because of some health issues that I've been experiencing. Some of you might know that I have fibromyalgia, which is a chronic pain condition. It's a chronic fatigue, chronic overall widespread pain. It tends to focus in the joints. I won't get too much into the details about it, but if you're interested in learning more about it, I'm happy to talk more. But what I can say is that ever since, let's say December, when things started feeling really uncomfortable in my work situation, and then when the job ended abruptly, it took a really difficult emotional toll on me. And then, of course, that affects
the body. Yeah, because the body takes score, right? So
yeah, the body keeps track of all the stress. And I'm learning now that fibromyalgia, bodies feel pain differently. And this particular week has been very pivotal for me in coming to terms with living with this chronic pain and not feeling guilty about it. I felt really guilty that we haven't been able to create videos, not because I feel like we have to, but because I want to.
Right.
And we can't. We haven't been able. We've written now these amazing outlines for fun videos, and then we show up to film, and then I get there and I have a crisis, whether it's physical, emotional, or both, and then it's just impossible to film or do anything. So first of all, I'm sorry that we haven't been able to keep videos. I wish we have been able to keep up, because it brings me so much joy to do so.
And we want to make sure that we provide content and energy to the videos that we normally do.
Yeah, I don't want you to see me on the verge of tears from how much pain I'm in. That's not fun. Like even right now, I can't just wait until the headaches go away. I've had chronic headaches for 6 months. And I wake up feeling worse than I did the day before. My neck hurts, my back hurts, my ankles will ache. And I have an full regimen of things that I take on a daily basis, and a whole team of medical professionals that I'm working with, and a wonderful support system right over here. But even then, that still doesn't make the pain go away. It sometimes makes it a little bit tolerable, but that's about as much.
But it's rough. Like the last video we filmed, the one with the Michelin taco star, Jenny was struggling, standing in an hour and a half to get tacos, trying to film. It was rough.
I was excited for it, but I was in a lot of pain. And it doesn't matter whether I'm standing or laying down. It doesn't make a difference. So sometimes I just say, I'll just push through, and tacos make me happy. So it's good for tacos are good for pain. But yeah, that when it comes to bringing you all the kind of energy and joy we want to share with you on videos,
and that you deserve, because that's what we bring to the table. That's what we bring as Eat Bala Travel.
That gets hard.
That energy, that to make it joyful for y'all to see us. And sometimes on the camera it looks awesome, but behind we've been struggling for some time now, and we just want to thank y'all for your patience, and thank y'all for your support, especially our Patreon members. Thank you all so much. We feel that right now we're in a moment where we're also transitioning, so it's kind of stressful. Our lease here in Mexico City is coming to an end, so we need to decide what we're going to do, whether we're going to stay in Mexico City, whether we're going to move somewhere else.
Let's get into that. Let's talk about life in Mexico City. Has been challenging, not only because of all the things that are happening while we've been here, but with chronic fatigue being a big symptom of fibromyalgia, it makes it very difficult to do things.
Yeah.
Anything from getting groceries to cleaning the house
to going to a park to commute, or to hanging out with friends,
to meeting up with friends,
to go out dancing. Everything is 30, 45 minutes.
I miss dancing so much, and it's just these things happen late at night, and they happen not in our neighborhood. We live at the southern limit of the Benito Juarez, what's it called? Borough? I think they're called boroughs or alcaldías.
County.
County? No, not county. Across the street from Coyoacán. But for example, the dancing places that are for social dancing are in like Roma and Condesa, those areas. So they're not super far, but it takes a lot of energy for me to make commutes.
No, so it's just been stressful, and it takes a lot of energy to do things. And when Jenny has like fibromyalgia crisis, like some days she wakes up with energy, some days she doesn't, and it's just rough. It's just rough. And we love Mexico City. We love the parks, the architecture, the culture, the food. But it really is a difficult city to navigate, especially when you're so used to, you know, like a smaller place now. We're used to smaller places now.
I don't know that we're used to it. It's that health-wise, I can't handle it.
Yeah.
I think health-wise, it's taking a toll on us. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it would help if it was smaller. So I get what you're saying there.
Or that the things that we were looking at or that we want to do are in our neighborhood.
Oh my gosh! For example, doctors and professionals are telling me that I need to swim. Swimming is good for me because any other form of exercise is very difficult. It literally causes me pain. Even walking sometimes can cause pain, which is crazy. But I love to walk and I love to dance, and those things aggravate my joints. So this is a nerve issue too. A lot of the pain that I feel is because of irritated nerve endings. So anything with impact makes the pain worse. So dancing can be painful lately. But with swimming, I haven't even been able to make swimming happen here in Mexico City. I visited probably 6 different places with swimming pools, and they're either crazy expensive, like I'm talking about thousands of pesos per month to access swimming classes, not even open swim. They own most of these places only offer swimming classes, which is weird. And the public parks, like the deportivos that are with the city, those have so many hurdles just to sign up. Remember what I was telling you? Like, you have to get a physical done by their doctor, but you can only make an appointment with that doctor on a certain day. But those appointments don't open up until every 28th of the month. And in order to get the appointments, you have to go in person, to scan the QR code, and you pay a sign-up fee. And then the open swim times are something from like 9 to 11 p.m. And I cannot do physical activity that late in the night because of the way that my body works.
Or you can go to a private gym, to a pool, and the private gyms are like $120, $130.
I'm like,
a
no.
month.
I'm like, no. Yeah, that and I just don't feel. I've felt the unhealthiest I have since I was diagnosed with fibromyalgia 5 years ago, and I think I just need an ocean. I need to be close to an ocean. And that brings us to what is happening next from Mexico City. now that we've told you that the answer is more likely that we're not going to stay here.
Yeah.
Where are we going next? When our lease is up in August,
And we're going to go to Colombia.
We're going to Colombia. First, to celebrate his brother's birthday was going to be super fun. But then we're like, well, we felt really healthy when we were out there. We felt like ourselves. We really loved Cali. We might go back there, but we also are thinking about spending some extended time on the Caribbean coast of Colombia. So that might be great. But once we get a little bit of eat, pray, love. What is this? Like we just kind of get back to feeling like ourselves, then we plan to come back to Mexico full force and finally make the move to Puerto Escondido.
You can hear the wave.
I look to you because I remember our debate, and I remember how excited you were.
So I won.
Yes, you win. You
we
win.
both win. Yeah. Because now you don't even have to pay for a pool now.
I know. So some of you may or may not know that we purchased some land in Puerto Escondido a while back, and it's just been sitting there waiting for us to make moves to make things happen. And 2025 is going to be the year where we finally do that. So we might even road trip it through Mexico. That's still to be discussed and to be confirmed. But we might do a road trip down northwest Mexico, where, places we haven't quite been to yet, making our way down to Puerto, and then finally making our dream come true of building a home there, building a business there, and making our lives there finally once and for all after all this traveling.
Excited.
So that's the goal. Sometime in 2025, keep an eye out, stay with us. And there are some big things to come in addition to a lot of physical and mental healing.
So what happens from here to August before we leave to Colombia? Well, we have a lot of Mexico City content that we want to provide. We also have a fully furnished apartment here in Mexico City.
Figure out what we're gonna do with it.
Yeah. We don't know exactly what we're gonna do with it, but I know something's gotta happen with all this stuff.
Yeah, we want to show you a little bit more about our daily lives before this changes. We're gonna do a day in our lives coming up soon. What our apartment actually looks like. You can see we're on a couch and we have some stuff on the walls. This was not here when we first showed you the apartment that we chose to live in. So we still hope that you'll be with us from this journey forward. Thank you so much for your support throughout all of this.
And thank you so much for spending time with us on your Sunday morning.
Or whenever you're watching this. Se cuidan.
Se bañan y nos vemos hasta la próxima.
Chao.
Chao.